Here we go. My mouth is dry. You have water here?
No, but I have some candy canes.
I don't want to drink right now.
Remember, you said you don't want my damn candy cane.
No.
That's my water.
What?
You want water?
Take this water. It's done.
Hey guys, I'm Dina.
And I'm Pat.
This is our channel, Imperfect Fighters. Today we are talking about exes. Should we be friends with exes if you're in another relationship? Can you continue talking to them?
And if you're married, should you be still communicating with exes?
I think it kind of depends. I honestly feel like it depends on, number one, the relationship, how it ended, how serious it was, and like where both of you are in life. Like if both of you are like, it's literally like no feelings there. I'm in a completely different relationship. You're in a completely different relationship. I don't see how or why you couldn't have a conversation here and there. I don't feel like you need to be like buddies going out on dinners or lunch dates together. But like you can be cordial.
I agree. I think that it, like you said, it depends on the completion of the previous relationship. You know, is it like done? Not saying it has to end on good terms or bad terms, but is it complete? Like, have you guys both moved
Close
on?
the door.
The door is closed on that. And I think, especially if you're married, is your spouse fine with that?
To respect what your significant other feels. But what if there's always an issue? Like if your spouse always has an issue just because it's an ex or even the opposite sex.
Talking about the ex, not the opposite sex right now. Yeah.
Okay,
well,
so if it's an ex, what if your significant other just has a problem with it just because it's an ex, even if there's like nothing
happening.
It's just like, oh, that was your ex.
I mean, first, that all comes down to a conversation that you guys need to have together on the reasons why this is bothering. And if it's like legit, like I'm uncomfortable because I think that you guys will still, like, there's feelings still there, or she still has feelings, he still has feelings, whatever. That's why I'm comfortable or I'm insecure. Then that obviously that goes into a different conversation. But if it's clear on what it is, and I'm just trying to be a butthead and say, no, you just shouldn't be talking to that person. But I think if it's clear and it's like it's really making me uncomfortable that you're still having conversations with your ex, and I express that to you, then that should be cut off. It shouldn't be, it's a good friend, so I'm gonna keep it going, So I think not everything is like a cookie cutter, like you can use that for every relationship. It's depending on what's happening, but a conversation needs to be had on what, the person is feeling. Why am I feeling comfortable that you're speaking to Leroy? There are times when there is insecurities from a past, experiences, because we all have our experiences as we grow and, through life. But it could be an experience that your current spouse had in their past relationship with an ex situation. And I guess, they didn't tackle it before. So now it's like, oh, now I'm going to be alert about it because, I don't want that to happen to me again. It could be that case. For me, if it was that issue that you had, I wouldn't just shrug it off. I would like try to get to the root of it to find out why. And if it's something that's going to affect our relationship, I don't think it's worth it to continue with an ex. You think I remember when I have an ex that I used to talk to once in a while. You would joke around like,
It definitely was often.
It's once in a while.
It was often enough.
Once a year is often
It
enough?
definitely wasn't once a year. You guys were talking like pretty often.
From hearing your responses, I was just like, okay, it's not that
No,
serious.
and it took a while too, because I would use you saying, oh, I would joke around. I'm like, you need to be careful, because yes, she may be like you, because your whole thing was, oh, you know, our conversations is always how's Dina and how's the kids or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything, because somebody can be asking you those questions just to get comfortable and to like kind of gain your trust before their real
And
like
I
intention
hear
comes
that.
out, and you used to be like, no, she's not like that. Da, da, da.
Well,
And
that goes back to your point
I
that you were saying that if the two people are in like separate different
you
things.
guys will talk pretty often enough for me to be like, okay,
Okay.
you guys talk a lot. You're like, oh, this person said hi.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would hear you say, oh, this person said, hey, what's up,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like, okay, kind of talk to her a lot. And it took, I don't remember who it was that we were having a conversation with, that it was somebody else that we were talking to, and they were like, yeah, women will do that, where they try to get you comfortable and they have other intentions. And then that's when you were like, oh, maybe I should pull back.
Well, that was a while ago, so I can't remember all
so
the
now we're
details that
Well, I remember.
transpired there. So, but yeah,
I honestly, I'm not even like that. Like, you know, I'm not even like, oh, you can't talk to this chick, you can't talk to that chick type of person. But I honestly felt like she honestly had like still like something for you.
okay.
It was kind of like, you're already married, so now I have to move on.
Okay.
That's how I felt, because it was just like, you really like asking a lot.
Okay.
And it's like, that's the only way I can have a conversation with you, is to ask about your family.
Okay. Well, currently not talking. Probably once a year, or probably every other year. This is a hello. That's where it's at right now, but definitely nothing there. Anyway,
For you, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. For you, and a lot of times, honestly, a lot of times, like,
so you feel like
men don't like, you guys, if somebody's not like, come on over, baby, you're like, you don't think, oh, she's not into me. You don't think that. It's like the person has to be like bent over in front of you for you to realize, you know, this person is still feeling me.
Okay, but you at that point you can't control a person's feelings, right? So
I know, that's
if
why
someone
I'm
has had that-
controlling who my husband is speaking to.
okay, I get that, but if the person's not doing the come on over, come on, if the person is not doing that,
But that's
they have
why
a
that's why I
respect,
came
you know?
to you. That's why I came to you, not just as, oh, she's feeling you, blah blah blah. I came to you as a female. I said to you, as a female, I know how women work and how women will, like, we can be sneaky.
Okay.
Like, I can see, you know, he's a good family man. He's into his wife. Ooh, that's attractive. And the only way for me to have this conversation with this man is to ask about his family,
Okay.
so that you can be comfortable and you don't have a guard up and feel like, oh, I have to watch out for this one. And next, you know, I'm naked in your bed.
Okay. All right. Let's all calm down here.
I don't know.
Everybody
I don't know
calm
who's
down.
hyped. Who's
Everybody
hyped
calm
up?
down
Who's everybody?
because
Where are the people?
all the crew,
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys are like hyped up.
everybody's hyped up. watching
Oh,
this. I mean,
Okay.
I get that, but there's things that eventually it's not gonna go from, hey, how's your family doing, to straight.
I didn't say
My legs are open.
Exactly.
There are
but that's what
steps,
I'm
so then
saying.
you can be
There's
like,
steps.
okay, I see what's happening.
But
and you can put
sometimes
that thing there.
you won't see that that's happening. Okay, here's an example, or a scenario, I could say.
Mm-hmm.
This person calls you, asks about your family all the time, blah blah blah. Your guard is completely down. You're not thinking anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's go out for lunch one day. Bring Dina. I come for the lunch. Can I finish?
Go, I'm listening.
I come for the lunch. You guys have a good time. Da 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 da. Next time, hey, let's go out for lunch. Let Dina know. Da 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 da. oh, Dina has to work. Okay, well, I mean, we could just go out. It could just be us. Oh, I don't see any issue in that. Boom, I go to lunch with you. We have a conversation, blah, 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 blah. Then it continues. Lunch. Next thing you know, we're leaving. Oh, see you later. Give you a nice little hug and make it real nice and tight and spray some perfume on me.
I get it.
You smell nice. That's
but
what I'm saying.
It's
obviously not going to go from one thing to the next extreme.
But that's
little things that's going to happen. And it could be very subtle. But
go nip it in the butt.
You're saying that now because I'm giving you the scenario. But if it's Patrick, I have seen it happen in front of my face where you don't even see that a woman is like flirting with you and you're just like, I've seen it happen in front of my face. And I'm like, babe, like, pay a little more attention. You're like, oh, I don't think so. That's always your answer. No, I don't think so.
Just a regular dude. I don't think no one's coming after me.
Okay. And that's dangerous that you always think that no one's coming after you. Mm-hmm. You're married, right?
Yeah, but...
And you've dated in the past, so obviously women will be attracted to you.
Back in the day, like...
So you just think you're not attractive. There's nothing about you that women want. You don't think anybody but me wants you in this world.
That's what I feel.
Okay. That's very dangerous for you to think that way.
That's what I feel. Like,
and that's very dangerous for you to think that way. That's not true.
Okay. Next question. What's the next question?
I feel like we didn't finish this.
We did finish this question.
That's dangerous. I want you to acknowledge that it's dangerous for you to feel like there's no woman that will be attracted to you or will want you but me.
Okay. So I'm going to change my mindset.
You need to put up a few extra walls.
I'm going to make my mindset now that everybody's trying to get in these drawers.
Okay. Thank you. What about conversations?
It depends on what the conversation is. If it's like... you know what, my ex has a contact to get to something, then I'll have that conversation. Hey, can you get me this information, blah, 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 to this thing. But if it's like, okay, this is now, we're texting a lot back and forth, how you doing, how you feeling, that's inappropriate. Or you're involved in the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Or, you guys may be friends or that type of thing.
You don't feel like that's opening a door to anything?
And like I said, it all depends on how that relationship settled. Mm-hmm. If it's settled.
Okay. What do you mean by settled? Because when I said that, I meant like, okay, let's say it doesn't necessarily have to mean it ended on good terms or even bad. Like it could, if it's something that was like, okay, it was an abusive relationship, I don't think you need to be friends with that person at all. Like if it was even, and not necessarily physical, it could have just been emotional. Any type of abusive relationship. I don't think you need to be friends with someone like that, period.
Gotcha. I agree.
If you guys had a mutual, okay, let's just part ways because we're either just not clicking or we're just not into each other like that anymore.
Okay.
I think you can have a conversation with that person.
I agree.
But I don't necessarily think you could be friends. Because if you guys, honestly, here's why I'm saying that. Because if you were mature enough to say, you know what, we're not in the same place, or I just don't like you like that anymore, that means maybe later on in the future, you guys might see each other and be like, you know what, we weren't ready then, but maybe we could, I see something now that like, I like. Oh, you're in a nice relationship. Oh my gosh, you're doing so well as a father, and the thing that turns women on. There's a lot more women that would rather deal with a married guy than a single guy. Do you know that?
That I didn't know.
Yes, because there's some women that they already know that you have the ability to be committed. So it's like I can just take you and then have this faithful person be faithful to me. And then there's also other women that they don't want any commitment. So because you're married, I don't have to worry about being committed to you.
Okay. Wow.
But a lot more women find married men attractive.
For me, it would be the opposite in the past. Well, like, if I see a female and be like, oh man, this girl's bad, this girl's hot, and then be like, oh, but she's married, and I'm like, then it just kind of kills it for me.
Well, that's because you respect people's relationships.
Good point.
Other people don't see it like that. Like, there are a lot of times you cheat and the person's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. You did something wrong. You're the one who's married. You get that?
No, that's. I'm trying to understand.
Could have fooled me the way you were like.
I'm trying to understand it, but yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, I think if you're in a relationship at this point, you should have a conversation with your spouse. Honest conversations, open conversations about what you're comfortable with and how you're feeling, and to just get to the bottom of it, and don't dismiss how the person is feeling. You talking to this person really doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. It may not be what you're doing, but they feel something. Usually your gut, the Holy Spirit, your discernment tells you something, like something's not right. And it's usually not nothing. It may not come from you or in a relationship, but it could be coming off from that person, and they're saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this, Now, if it's a relationship you're in and your spouse doesn't like you to breathe or be in the same room as any female, then that's a different thing. That's a different conversation.
Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let us know if you agree, if you don't agree. Let us know. Subscribe. Thumbs up.
And yeah.
Peace out.